It is the morning of Eid al-Fitr. I wake up as the sun is rising among wispy clouds. This is the first day I have not woken up in the pitch black of night. Mas and Idreen then joined them to perform their Eid al-Fitr prayers at the state mosque. They told me there were some 3,000 people at mosque. These prayers are performed in every mosque throughout the country at 8:30 a.m. When they returned from mosque, we all gather in Idris's and Mas's room. Idris and Mas sat on the sofa and Adri, as the eldest, led the way. He got down on his knees to salam his father and mother. Salam is the Malay way of greeting. During the salam, Adri asked forgiveness of his parents for all wrong, seen or unseen, intentional or unintentional. Then Idris gestured for me to follow them. This was significant. This is a private family tradition, and not only was I invited to witness, but also to participate. I really felt honored to be accepted as part of the family. Immediately after, we went for Rizwan's house to have a traditional family breakfast. This was a breakfast in the morning breakfast, not the break fast that we have been having for the last month in the evening. Our first visit is to see His Royal Highness, the Raja of Perles. I have never met a king before. The plan is that I will follow Mas and Idreen as they salam him to make sure that I greet him properly. We arrive at his residence. Already there are many people here. He has put on quite the open house, complete with carnival games for the kids. Since I have never met a sultan before, I have a preconceived, stereotypical image of him and his wife, sitting in throne-like chairs in front of some grand room. A line of people walks up to greet them. I am absolutely certain this is how I will encounter him. So certain that I don't think to ask anyone how I will recognize him. Oh! I'm taken by surprise. He and his family are sitting at one of the main tables enjoying some Hari Raya delicacies while greeting all of their guests. By the time I realize who he is, Mas has already salamed him and Idreen is just moving away. I am a bit taken aback and I hope I am greeting him properly. The Raja and his wife are both dressed completely in yellow. Yellow is the Malaysian color for royalty. Now we start with visits. We visit Idris's eldest sister, Aisha. Idris actually calls her Achi Aisha, which is a mix of her name and Achi, the word for sister. She always serves a special dish called lontong at her house, and everyone is looking forward to this. Here we are at her house. It is a comfortable size house, but quite small really for the number of guests that she will receive over the next few days. She tells me that she has 50-some grandchildren and another 50-some great-grandchildren. Imagine! Already the house is lively with guests. She tells me she is happy to see her family. It's only midday and already we have eaten so much. This is such an immediate difference from Ramadan. All the food is excellent, but at the same time, I think my body is racing to adjust to all the sudden eating. The time for me to leave is drawing near. Idris throws an open house. in great part as a farewell to me, and I am very touched. When I first came, I was a total stranger, and now I'm leaving as part of this family. I have made wonderful friends. I will really miss everyone. It is great to see them all at once. The house is packed, but I am in more of a contemplative mood. I know I will be leaving very soon, and I know I will deeply miss everyone here. Here I am in Idris's house. This was home for the past month. I have an 11 p.m. flight, so I'm packing up, saying goodbye to everybody. A bit crushing, really. We're gonna head out here in just a couple minutes so that we can avoid the jam and I can catch my flight. You know, early in Ramadan month, when I first got here, Idris was telling me that sometimes the end of Ramadan can actually be a letdown. And I found that quite hard to believe, because who would miss having a normal schedule, being able to eat, have lunch whenever you want? But really, the first few days after Ramadan for me were a bit of a letdown. There we were in Perles with Idris's family and friends, you know, enjoying all the food and delicacies we wanted, sharing times together. But the end of Ramadan was still a bit of a letdown. Ramadan's a very special time. It brings everybody together. Everyone's fasting. Everyone wakes up for sahur. Everybody breaks fast at sunset in the evening. People share breakfast together. They enjoy special Ramadan foods. And at the end of Ramadan, this was all over. In fact, when we got back to KL, all of the Pasar Ramadan shops were closed, and we had to find a new routine. Even for me as a non-Muslim, Ramadan was a time for reflection. There's a fine line between suffering and willpower. Really, in Malaysia, there's probably hardly anybody that's actually suffering. Food is plentiful, and therefore Ramadan gives us a time to explore a personal sense of willpower. It gave me a sense of personal strength to experience fasting and to know I could do this. It's a mental game, really. Sometimes you're very, very tired, very thirsty, but usually I found that I had the strength to continue fasting until sunset. For Malaysian Muslims, Islam is a pretty normal part of life. Individuals incorporate it into their lives as it suits them. Really, it's a beautiful thing to see people of any faith who find a religion and a level of participation that's meaningful to the path that they walk. You know, fasting's not a competition. Both fasting and prayers are performed with a good heart and with willingness to engage. If there's a reason that people cannot fast during the month, then they don't. It loses its beauty, really, if it's a forced exercise. Now, I happen to be here in Malaysia with Muslims, but these particular people could have been just about anywhere in the world. They could have been of any religion. You know, their desires, approach to life, their work ethic, those things are common to others. It's the individual stories that are unique. Really, this month has proven to me again that people are generally good. Everyone we met was welcoming, friendly. Muslim and non-Muslim Malaysians alike have good intentions. They have desires similar to people anywhere. Really, they want to be comfortable, have a decent job, provide for their family. Especially they want their kids to be healthy, have good opportunities, for them to be happy. When I came here a month ago, I too was a bit skeptical. I didn't know anything about Malaysia, not much about Islam. I didn't even know much about Idris's family, and that's where I was going to be staying for the month. Everyone back home wanted me to be safe. I was coming from New York. I had some family that used to be in the US Air Force. I was cautioned by a few people to watch out for people over there. On arrival, I had high hopes. However, really my experience this past month has exceeded all my expectations. Idris's family and all of my friends, colleagues at MK Direct, everybody's become really my friends, colleagues, family over the past month. It's really more than I could have hoped for. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again sometime, and I'm very much hoping that our paths will cross sooner than later.
It may be a new experience for Lydia. I have experienced many months of Ramadan over many years, but none compared to this one. This one month has opened my eyes to many things I took for granted. For me, it was a journey of revelation. I feel as though I was asked to do this documentary, not so much to show how Muslims in Malaysia spend their Ramadan, but more for myself, to see what I've long taken for granted. This golden month of Ramadan have given me an opportunity to look closely into myself and brought me closer to humanity and to Him, Allah the Almighty. I feel humble and blessed.